All right, happy Thursday, everybody. We've got a short 8-game slate. But before we get into that, we got Thursday night football. Make sure you guys check out the video I put out yesterday. Very quick, just a minute and 40 seconds, but covers all the relevant information, gives you guys a couple of picks. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. It's free. I appreciate it. We are getting very, very close to 200, so right there. All right, let's get into the recap. Yeah, a lot of good, and there was some heartbreak. So straight bets, we were really, really good. We went 5-1. Braves first 5 at money line. Yeah, it is what it is. Nats just crushed Freed. So, and the Braves went back into offensive regression. So that's cool. Cleveland -1, Houston -1. Cleveland got it done for us. Houston choked it again. Ended up giving up 3 runs in the 6th inning, 5th inning, something like that. Either way, that sucked. I thought we had that one. Houston burned me yet again. Atlanta ended up costing us the second parlay, and then the last one should have been a straight cash. Arizona absolutely smacked the Rangers. Cleveland got the job done. Toronto, Bowden Francis is throwing a no-hitter coming into the 9th inning. A no-no. Feeling pretty good. We're up 1-0. That's all right. We're plus 1.5. We've got some runs to play with. Gives up a solo shot right at the beginning, so no-no's out. They take him out. The next pitcher comes in, walks the bases loaded. Attaboy. And then, proceeds to give up some runs, and then they bring a new guy in, and then he proceeds to give up a 3-run home run. So the Mets score 6 runs in the top of the 9th to end up winning it 6-3, 6-4. I don't know. Either way, that sucked. That seemed like a guaranteed win, so that was pretty heartbreaking. Atlanta cost us the fun parlay and the upset parlay. Kansas City ended up losing in extras. Cincinnati lost it in the 8th, and Toronto lost it in the 9th. So they were looking pretty good, through 7 innings. Either way, is what it is. Good day, up 1.83 units, 8 wins, 7 losses on the teams. 3-3 on the props, 3-0 on the Nerfies, so not too bad there. Hot and cold matchups, we got a couple to look at, but not a lot. Got a couple of guys that are hot against Nestor Cortez. One hitter on the Athletics that's hot against Framber Valdez. Cold batter matchups, 2 that are cold against Framber. Nolan Arenado is cold against Jacob Junis. Kind of big. Hot pitcher matchups. Framber Valdez has just been on an absolute tear, and he's got good success against this A's lineup. Batting 179 off of him. Cold pitcher matchup. Sonny Gray. We'll get a little more into him, but Reds are hitting 284 off of him, and Nestor Cortez, Red Sox, are hitting 316 off of him. Bullpen review. Every bullpen's fairly healthy, so no concern there. Standings review real quick. So the Orioles are off, so if the Yankees can win tonight, they can stretch this lead in the AL East to 2 games, so pretty important game tonight. Same with the Red Sox. 4 games back of the wild card. I would say they lose this, it's GG. So season's over if they lose tonight. A lot of pressure riding on Mr. Cooper Criswell tonight. The Rays are playing the Guardians, so the Guardians can extend their lead in the Central to 5 games. So I think they can pretty much call that. In the West, the Mariners are only 3.5 back, so both of them are in action tonight. I like the Astros to win. I like the Mariners to win, so should be interesting there. In the East, everybody's pretty much off. The 2 teams that are playing are completely irrelevant. Central, Brewers have this wrapped up. It's not even a question at this point. In the West, they're pretty much off. So 2 teams that are playing really don't matter. All right, first game on the slate, Tigers and the Rockies. Loving the Tigers, man. We didn't really talk about them, but they're 3 games back of the wild card, so they are very much in it. Tariq Skubal going up against Ryan Feltner. This team's been on an absolute tear. 7-3 in their last 10. They've won 4 straight. You've got Skubal on the hill, Ryan Feltner on the other side. Skubal 2.18 home ERA. I have Freeland in here because yesterday it was Freeland, so my stats are all jacked up, but I kind of left both in just in case something changed. But I like the matchup with Feltner better than I do Freeland, honestly. Tigers have been scorching hot against righties, so we'll take Feltner. He's got about a 4 away ERA, 9 earned runs in his last 4, 8 earned runs in his last 4 away starts. So Freeland was actually the hotter pitcher. So this works out really well. I like Tigers all day. Run line looking pretty good at minus 115. First five, I believe's juiced to like minus 150, minus 160. Pitch splits don't look great for Feltner. Skubal is going to be your Cy Young, so I expect him to have a Cy Young performance today. All right, next game, Reds and the Cardinals. Jacob Junis going up against Sonny Gray. Sonny Gray has been pitching very well as of late. He's only given up 2 earned runs in his last 2 games, 9 in his last 4, 5 earned runs in his last 3 home starts. That said, terrible track record against the Reds. He has never recorded a win against this team. He is 0-3 in his career against Cincinnati. He has pitched against this team 2 times already this year. So he's gone 9.1 innings, 12 hits, 9 earned runs, and 15 Ks. So this team has really been able to get to him, but he has been able to strike him out. Most teams have. If we look at Junis, he's pitched really well. 1 earned run in 3 games. That spans 12.2 innings. He's only given up 3 hits, 9 Ks, and a walk. So I would take the Reds at plus money. I just can't back a Cardinals team that offensively is just horrendously bad. I think maybe I would look more towards playing the under with the wind blowing in today. Just really haven't seen runs scored, although it's getaway day for these folks. So never know, some craziness could happen, but I was hoping the Reds were going to pull it out last night, but hey, sets them up to win today. All right, A's, Astros. Astros have lost 3 straight. Athletics have been dominating. Won the first 2 games of this series. Just don't think they sweep. Valdez has been absolutely on fire. He's only given up 4 earned runs in his last 5 games, and 3 of those were against Baltimore. So he's really only given up 1 earned run in 4 games. So he's just absolutely pitching lights out. Mitch Spence got a 5 away ERA, 8 earned runs in his last 4 games, 8 earned runs in his last 3 away games. So I like the Astros to score a lot of runs today and just come absolutely unhinged. There's no way this line should be 8 with Valdez on the hill unless the books think that the Astros are going to pop off today. Run line sitting at minus 112. Love the run line on that today. All right, Marlins and the Nats. Darren McCaughan going up against Mitchell Parker. This was supposed to be DJ Hers and got changed this morning. Works out well. Marlins, we just saw it. They struggled to hit Bailey Falter yesterday in Pittsburgh, so we know they have issues hitting lefties. Their bullpen is in a real bad spot, 5.10 ERA, kind of giving up runs left and right. We saw the Nats, offensively get a lot of hits yesterday against Max Fried. So I like the Nats to get the job done today. Parker pitched against this Miami team for 10 innings already this year, so 2 games. He's given up 12 hits. Little high, only 2 earned runs and 6 Ks. So he's not really K'ing them a lot, and he's giving up a lot of hits. So that's a little sketchy, but I can't really back this Darren McCaughan with his 7.24 ERA. Yeah, can't do that. Maybe like a Nats first 5. You can even look at the Nats run line in this situation, but money line's pretty safe play at minus 185. Pitch splits are a little dicey with Parker. You can see the Nats are hitting top 10 in 3 of his 4 pitches. So could be a little sketchy there. Parker's given up a 313 average to lefties, 333 to righties. So a lot of scary things there. McCaughan, 227 to lefties, 500 average to righties. But he doesn't give up a lot of hard hits. So something to think about there. I guess we could potentially see a Marlins upset, but usually game 1 of a series, they're pretty bad. All right, Rays and before we get to that, the Marlins lost on getaway day to the Pirates, and we were on the Pirates. Let's go. We got them. We got them. You sons of bitches. Finally. All right, Rays and Guardians. Ryan Pepio going up against Gavin Williams. Williams has not been pitching well. He's got a 7.54 home ERA. Not good. Last outing went 0.2 innings, 2 hits, 5 earned runs, and 3 walks at LA. That was a horrendously bad start. He's given up 16 earned runs in his last 5 starts, 8 earned runs in his last 2 home starts. So he's definitely been trending in a pretty bad direction. Alex Cobb was originally slated to pitch as of yesterday. I don't know what's happened to him. He's missed this would be his 2nd start in a row he's missed. So kind of interesting there. Pepio has looked pretty good. He's made 4 starts back from injuries, only given up 8 earned runs. 3 of those were away. So he's been used to pitching away. This will be his 4th out of his last 5 starts that have been on the road. I still have Cobb in here just in case something weird happens. You never know. I don't like backing Cleveland with Gavin Williams on the hill, and I like the way Pepio's been pitching. So I would lean more towards the Rays at plus money. All right, Yankees and the Red Sox. Huge series here. It was supposed to be Clark Schmidt. So again, I left him in here too. A lot of pitching differences from yesterday. I was really hoping it was going to be Clark Schmidt. But Nestor Cortez did say earlier last week that he was going to be pitching in a game this week. So if you're not aware, Nestor Cortez was moved to the bullpen when Luis Gil and Clark Schmidt came back from injury. He was not happy about it. He was frankly pretty pissed and pretty open about it. So I think today is going to be a FU for throwing me in the bullpen kind of day. So I actually like him to do pretty well. That said, he's going to get hit. But Cooper Criswell on the other side of the hill. Criswell done really good his last 4 starts. He's only given up 4 earned runs, but he's got a 4.12 ERA. He's got a 4.43 away ERA. I like him to get banged up a little bit. That said, Boston's played really well against the Yankees this year. So far, they have played 10 games against each other. Boston is up 6 games to 4, and the 3 games in New York, they've actually won 2 out of 3. So there is an angle to take the Red Sox. I just, don't trust their bullpen, which the ERA continues to go up. It's at 6.28 now over the last 30 days. And their sticks have been a little quiet lately. That said, versus lefties, they've been pretty good. So definitely an angle to lean Boston. I just kind of like taking the over here rather than necessarily playing a team. But if I had to pick a team, I would definitely lean Yankees. But the over is looking pretty juicy. All right, Rangers, Mariners. Kumar Rocker is going to be making his major league debut. If you're not aware of Kumar Rocker, he was a pitcher out of Vandy, first round, I believe, number 3 pick by the Rangers. Pretty good guy, but he had to have Tommy John surgery, so he's been coming back from that. Number 2 prospect for the organization. He's only pitched 2 games in AAA, so he's got 10 innings pitched in AAA. If we look over the course of the minors over the past 2 years, he's only got 64 innings under his belt. That said, he's got a .88 whip, 97 Ks, and 12 walks, so he's been doing okay. The big thing with Rocker is he's got a pretty nasty slider. He's got a slider that really just kind of drops off the table and moves. He's got a pretty decent curveball. His changeup's pretty trash. I'd say he's got an average fastball. He's sitting somewhere between 93 and 95. It's a little flattish, so we'll have to see. My concern with him is just more control. I know he's only walked 12 people in 2 years in the minors, but Major League's a little different. I don't think they're going to bite on that slider that he's had success on in the minors. So if they're not biting on that slider, I think he gets hit pretty hard. So first start, I would back the Mariners. Bryce Miller been pretty solid. That said, versus the Rangers, not the greatest track record. He's got a 12.66 career ERA versus the Rangers, 0-3. However, all of those outings have come away, and this was last year. Never pitched at home against this team. So he's got 6.2 innings pitched, 13 earned runs last year. So not a huge sample size. Essentially, he got rocked in a couple of games. But I like Miller at home. He's been pitching pretty damn well. I think he gets the job done today. So I'll back the Mariners. We saw them offensively kind of not necessarily open it up, but they got to the Padres last night. I think they get to the Rangers. I don't love it. I would lean towards the over 7. That's really... You got 2 teams that are hitting fairly okay. Runners in scoring position. Mariners aren't the best. But the Rangers have been hitting okay. So I would maybe lean towards the over. All right, last game on the cards, Brewers and the Giants. So Frankie the Fade Montas going up against Hayden. The bird song. The big bird. I think he's actually pitching today. All right, Montas, 5 away ERA. Bird song, 4.5 home ERA. So not exactly stellar. If we look at Montas, he did pitch against this Giants team when he was with the Reds in May. Didn't go so well. 4.2 innings pitched, 7 hits, 4 earned. Montas, 11 earned runs in his last 3 games. He's kind of reverting back after he had that 4-game stretch where he was only giving up 0 or 1 earned runs. He's given up 11 earned runs in his last 4 away starts. Mr. Birdsong has given up 8 earned runs in his last 4. My only concern here that kind of makes me want to lean Brewers is he has not pitched in 8 days. All right, if we go back and look at his starts, the last time he got out of sync with his normal 5-day rotation was back in early August against the Nats. He had gone, I believe, 8 days between starts. Did not go well. He gave up 7 earned runs versus the Nationals, so that does scare me. I do think that's a legit possibility. I would lean Giants at plus money. I know they kind of trounced them last night, so that typically you want to go to the other way when those trouncings kind of happen, but I would lean towards the Giants, but more so I would take the over. When blowing out, 2 pitchers with high ERAs. The only way I can see the books thinking this goes well is if Birdsong's projected to pitch great. So that's where I'm at with that pitch sheet. You guys can screenshot this. A couple interesting ones on here. A lot of high K props, but there are some opportunities to take some K props and potentially cash in today. All right, best bets. What I've got: Boston, New York over 8.5. Criswell, Cortez equals runs. So I like runs. This series has gone over, I want to say 70% of the game. So high likelihood it goes over. The wind's going to be blowing out of the west, so it's not necessarily going to be blowing out, but it won't be blowing in either. Colorado, Detroit over 7. I think Detroit's been pretty damn hot. I think they should get to Feltner. I'm sure Skubal may give up a couple, but I could definitely see this being like a 6-2 kind of game potentially, or a 5-2 and we hook it. So I like Detroit. Maybe if you're not comfortable with that, look at Detroit team total over. Houston team total over 4.5 at -120. I did look at run line. It's just -112. So I feel fairly confident Houston's going to open up the sticks today and at least get 5. Let's see, Milwaukee, San Francisco over 7.5. Probably my favorite play of the day. -115. Just doesn't really make a lot of sense. Giants team total over 3.5 at plus money. Love it. Frankie to fade Montas, man. We're going to fade him. And then give me Nats team total over 4.5. Like I said, this Marlins team is just giving up way too many runs. Their bullpen is absolutely awful. We saw the Nats do a decent amount of hitting last night, so I like them to get 5 runs today. Parlays I like today. Give me Detroit and Houston both money line. And then we're going to take Boston and the Yankees game over 6.5. So it is an alt line. If you're very comfortable, you can just take the 8.5. I was just looking for something right around plus 150, and that's what got me there. So that's plus 153. Next one, kind of an interesting one. We're going to take Houston and Detroit to both be leading by more than 0.5 after the first 5, and then parlaying that with them winning the game as well. So it's Houston and Detroit first 5 -0.5, and Houston and Detroit money line. Put those together, you get plus 203. And then the last one we're going to do is Mariners, Nats, Yankees money line at plus 303. Fun parlay. You can see it's kind of it's an interesting one I pieced together here. So it's Detroit and Houston run line, so they have to win by 2. Nats money line, and then Tampa Bay and Cleveland over 7. Boston and New York over 7.5. So you can tell I really feel like there's going to be a lot of runs in that game. Plus 1204. Upset parlay today is going to be the Rays, the Reds, and the Giants at plus 1,031. Prop leans I like Feltner under 16.5 outs at -106. Skubal under 4.5 hits at plus 110. Gavin Williams over 4.5 hits at plus 100. Mitch Spence over 2.5 earned runs at -129. Matt Chapman for the Giants over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. I believe he is over this in 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, something scary like that. And then Yandy Diaz for the Rays over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs at -135. Nerfies, we were 3-0 yesterday. I got to knock on wood. Hopefully we have a good day today. And then give me the Rangers and the Mariners with the Nerfy at -135, Reds and Cardinals at -135, and then the Rays and the Guardians at -120. I did look at the first game on the card, which is going to be the Rockies and the Tigers. The way the the way Detroit's hitting righties, I can definitely see them coming out and just shelling Feltner right off the bat. So I got a little nervous about that. But those are my picks and plays for today. Like I said, if you haven't yet, be sure to check out the NFL video. More videos coming on the NFL. We'll talk about props, leans, everything we do with baseball, just a little more condensed version. Appreciate you guys tuning in, and I will catch you in the video tomorrow.